What is up, everyone? It is your boy Santi, and I am here once again to do yet another cast assessment. And this time we are talking about Survivor Pennsylvania Mountain of the Gods. If you guys have not checked out Survivor Pennsylvania, I highly recommend that you go over to YouTube, look up Survivor Pennsylvania, and look at the last season, Survivor Gettysburg. It is amazing. There are a couple clips on there of this season. The quality of the challenges, the editing, the host, all of it is not subpar, top tier. Sorry about that. Today I am joined by two amazing guests, and being that it's International Women's Day, I could not be happier to be sharing this time with these two people. So first up, we have Sandra. Hello, Sandra. How are you doing?
Hello, Sandra. Good. How are you?
Good. It is so it's great to finally meet you.
I know. I feel like I know you.
I know. I feel like I know you. I've seen you play. I've seen your season. I played Angelica after you did. So it's really exciting to meet you and talk about Survivor Pennsylvania.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Next up, let's bring up, I don't know what I can say about this person. I love and adore them to pieces. Renica, hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited for this. It's my first cast assessment.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're ready.
You guys ready to judge?
Let's.
I mean, assess. I'm kidding. Before we get started, y'all, the theme of this season is Mountain of the Gods. What are your thoughts? What are your theories? What are your if you were playing this game, what would you expect for Mountain of the Gods?
I would definitely think Journey, because it just feels like something's going to happen. It's going to be epic. There's going to be some sort of decision, situation, separating from your tribe, that sort of thing. I also have the benefit of hindsight of having watched a little bit of the teaser about the theme. But it's a very epic name.
Yeah, and I feel like gods might be like more of a power thing too. Like maybe there's some big power plays in there and power advantages that people may end up having. It's the power of the gods as opposed to Mountain of the Gods.
Yes.
It is interesting. Like we as players, we've all kind of talked about the Survivor Gods and like pray into the Survivor Gods. And the Survivor Gods are funny because some random stuff always happens in games where I'm like, that's the Survivor Gods doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see how Daniel puts it all together. I'm assuming there's going to be like an advantage god, an idol god, a safety without power god, a super idol god. I know people don't like that, but I do. I'm excited for that. All right, y'all. Well, let's get started. I have a presentation. Oops, let me fix that real quick. So we're going to go through each cast since we've all seen the videos, and then just talk about each player and what our thoughts on them and kind of where we expect for them to land in the game. The first person up is Amy. So Amy has played Survivor Angelica. She made the final two. She played Can You Survive the Great Mountain, got fifth. She was in the all-women final five, so shout out to that. Yeah. The Mole New York, and then she played competitive events. She was eliminated right before jury, and then after Survivor Pennsylvania, she played Survivor New York, where she got 12th. Thoughts on Amy?
Well, I love Amy. I mean, it's no secret. I know Amy very well. She's a great player. And her intro video, she mentions that she can read people very well, and she really can. Maybe it's part of being the older person. We're more observant, and we can take things in and really people watch. And that's her ability, is to be able to really read people. And she's a great player. I played with her in CYS and was there for that Women's Alliance. And she did amazing. And her social and strategy, I think, will get her far.
Agreed. I also think that she's just so easy to underestimate. I do think, for better or worse, when you come into these games as a woman and as an older woman, like a mother figure, people do underestimate you. But I think that Amy can use that to her advantage. She mentions that too in her video. And I think not only is she good at reading people, but she's good at lying. She's good at keeping secrets. I think people are going to underestimate her, and she could fly through to merge.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's funny. We were all kind of talking about this in the beginning of like staying unbiased about players, and it's hard for the three of us to stay biased about Amy because we've all played with Amy. I've had the opportunity of playing with Amy, being on production team for a game Amy played, and then also being on a cast member when Amy was on production. So everything Amy said in her video is completely accurate. That's how she is. When we played the Mole New York together, she was like constantly observing everything, watching people. She had a bad read on me, but whatever, it worked to my benefit. But Amy is a force to be reckoned with. I think she's a phenomenal player, and the other players should definitely watch out for her.
Absolutely.
I will say about Amy, one thing that I think could get her in trouble, and granted, I probably know Amy the least out of all of us here. I only played Survivor New York with her for a shortish amount of time, but I do think that she will state her opinions. That is one thing about Amy. Like if she feels something, she's going to say it, and I think that could get her in trouble. I'm thinking specifically about her being very vocal about frustration with another tribe member who was snoring in Survivor New York, and I think that was like a landslide that became a very present thing in our tribe. So I can see Amy being outspoken, a little spicy.
It was Rob, right?
It was Rob, the eventual winner. The snoring did not hurt his game.
Oh.
I'm going to try to switch this because when I put the comments up, it takes you off trying to get. So I don't know what it's doing. That doesn't work. No. Sorry, y'all. We'll
close up.
We'll just go back to this. I'm gonna have to cover your face, Trent. I'm so sorry about that.
How dare you? I deserve my screen time.
Oh, that's
I know. So real quick. So we decided to do this beforehand. Is Amy going to be a hero or is Amy going to be a villain?
She's such a loyal player.
Yes,
so
I agree.
I think she's going to be a hero, but I do think that she's not afraid to lie.
No, she's not afraid to play the game for sure.
Yeah. All right. I definitely think hero as well. Okay, moving over to Barton. So Barton played Survivor Blue Ridge. He got 9th place, and he played Who is the Mole. He also got 9th place. So hopefully Barton does not get 9th place in Survivor Pennsylvania. What are you guys' thoughts on Barton?
I am obsessed with Barton. Obsessed. I think like a Southern accent can really make people underestimate you, or at least when I hear one, I think of warmth and friendliness. So he gives off these very social vibes. But then he says in his video that he's got a little devil in him, and I love that. So he just seems funny, very chill, like someone that people might gravitate towards and want to work with. And it also seems like he has some like outdoors know-how, challenge ability. So big fan of Barton.
Okay, so he's definitely comes across as a lot of fun. He's outgoing and very personable. He seems. I do think, because I think he mentions it in his video as well, that his mouth could possibly get him in trouble, and I tend to agree with that. I love his energy, but I'm just afraid that he might be too much energy, because sometimes when someone has too much energy, that kind of can put a target on them as well, because it comes on too strong. But it definitely seems fun, and definitely will be interesting to see how that works out.
I agree, Sandra. I think if he comes in with the personality that we got in the intro video, it will make him a target in the very beginning. I think if he can take it back a couple notches, he'll be pretty good. I like his idea of preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
Yes.
But I think it's kind of dangerous because in Survivor, I don't know, don't prepare for the worst. Plan for the best constantly.
I think whatever tribe he ends up with will really affect his game. I mean, obviously for anyone, but I think if he ends up on a tribe of people who are as social as he is, then he could be in a real power position. Or if he's on a tribe of people who are quieter, a little more shy or reserved, then he might be targeted.
Yeah.
I think too, if he lets a couple other people take the power position and then sits back while they become the targets, and as soon as they get out, then he can shift his position, would be great for him. But I don't know if he has that control.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we thinking hero or villain for Barton?
Villain.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
He said he has a devil inside. So, I mean, there you go.
I hope we get to see that during the season.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we have Ben. So Ben has quite the resume. He played Survivor SNS and he won. Survivor Philly, he got 3rd boot. Survivor Corkscrew Cove, he got 3rd. Survivor Rock Creek 1 round before merge. And then Survivor DC Season 9, he won. So he's a 2-time winner. Also from his video, he designs challenges. So that was a fascinating thing to learn. What do we think about Ben and his amazing hair?
Oh my God. Okay. So I need to say something. So I think I told you guys before we actually went on that I rated everyone 1 to 10.
Oh yeah.
I gave him a 9. Like he is like, I can understand how he won all those games because I just think he's so well spoken. He's likable. He draws you in. He's able to articulate. I would definitely gravitate to him. Like I really liked him. He's
100%. And like Santi said, because he's designed challenges that could give him a leg up. The bead, he kept the beads in his hair. The deviousness. I love it. I think Ben's going to be incredible. And I think he's the one who also is a creative writer, which I can't stress enough how much I think being a creative of any sort lends itself well to playing Survivor. And specifically to be a writer, you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to craft a narrative. You have to be able to see all sides of a story. I think that's all helpful when you're playing the game. And obviously, if you're good with words and you make it to the end, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So I think Ben could be a real power player here.
Yeah, I agree. I love anyone that can make a good Mean Girls reference. And when he said that his hair is full of secrets, he sold me. I think, Trinica, you and I know from experience, him being a challenge designer does not necessarily mean that he will play well at a game.
That is true.
Sandra, Trinica, and I took an escape room designer to the Final Four, and the Final Four challenge was an escape room. Yeah, it was bad, but it was fine. It ended up fun. I think Ben's going to do pretty well. I think his social, like I'm just socially attracted to him from his video. Like I feel like I would easily open up to him. I easily want to align with him. And I think that that's going to get him very far in the game. It's very clear on his stats. My friend Becky actually does casting for Survivor DC. And I was like, hey, I'm doing an assessment on Ben. And her response was, I fucking love him. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So he is definitely somebody I am going to be watching. Now, do we think hero or villain?
So that's interesting for Ben. I think that he is going to come across villainous to somebody because I think what his issue is going to be playing the middle. I think everyone's going to love him. Everyone's going to think they're good with Ben, and then Ben's going to have to turn on somebody. So I think Ben's going to be like an anti-hero.
Ooh, an anti-hero.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I say hero for everybody. So it's like very hard.
You want to see the best in everyone.
I know. I'm not good at picking hero and villains. But yeah, I don't think he'll be afraid to make big blindsides and big moves. So he knows how to play the game, it seems. So.
Well, especially too, because he said, right, that he had only gotten voted out one time and he's played so many games, as we can see. So those are really impressive stats. It seems like even if he is voting people out, if he's winning twice, he's doing it in a way where people aren't that upset with him. So
right. Yeah.
And I think being that he's this experienced and that he's won twice, he understands the timing of the game and how to take people out and win.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to who's next. We have Sierra, also extensive resume. She played Survive McHenry. She got second boot, battled back, and was rocked out at 10th place. Ooh. And Outlast, she played 17th. Competitive events, she got second place, and then in competitive events, All-Stars, she got rocked out again. Rocks out like Sierra.
Rocks, I can relate.
I was just going to say, Trinica, weren't you rocked out as well?
Yes, many times. That is interesting, though. I feel like someone who's willing to go to Rocks, I'm interested in, because either she's very loyal, which I actually don't think she's going to be. I think she's just a risk taker, which is very fun.
Yeah, I think that's fun as well. Yeah.
I think what my main note that I wrote was that Sierra's got that dog in her. Like, I think that she's going to be such a determined player. And I think that could be her downfall because I see her video. And granted, she's being probably more honest in her video than she's going to be with her tribe mates. But she just immediately seems like someone who's going to play so hard and could be clocked really quickly as a hard player.
Oh, real quick. I'm so sorry. It's Kira.
Oh, it's Kira.
Kira, okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Put some respect on the name.
So
I remember her in Outlast, and I wish I went back and watched the episode. I just remember being really disappointed she got voted out so soon because I really thought she was a strong player and she was going to go far. Again, another very likable player, very chill. I thought she was really good from what I saw of her in Outlast. I remember her, and I must have watched the competitive events as well. So,
yeah.
Sandra, do you remember what her downfall was in Outlast?
that's why I wish I went back and watched the episode, but I ran out of time. Yeah, gosh, I don't know if anybody out there watching can comment.
See you in chat.
Yeah,
See the
I
chat.
don't
Let us know.
remember. I don't remember what was her downfall, but I remember I think I was surprised and I was really disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah. Sierra to me is one of those players, like, even from the video, I feel like if I met her in person, I would immediately be intimidated. And I don't think it's anything that she does. It's just this presence about her and the confidence that she has. She's extremely experienced. She also played orgs online. So I think that adds another level to her gameplay. So I am rooting for her. What do we guys think? Hero or villain?
I'm gonna say villain. I
I
think
was going
that
to say villain too.
she wants to win. She's gonna do what it takes.
And she's not afraid. She's not afraid to take a risk, go to rocks, or that shows.
I put hero.
Did you? Okay, we'll have to find out.
Real quick before we move on, shout out to Surviving Bloomington. If you guys are free tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe, episode 3 airs. And if you guys have not watched Surviving Bloomington, it is cinema. Like, absolute cinema. Like, the editing, Casey does an amazing job. Just beautiful. Can't say no.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. We have our first newbie, Colin. He is not a Survivor fan, but he is an actor and a coach.
But he didn't know what Zelensky was.
He knew who Zelensky was, yes, which that was interesting tidbit. So maybe he's friends with Zelensky, or I don't know. What do you guys think? Thoughts on Colin?
He used the word compatible, which I think is such an interesting way to put it. I think, people say compatible. Yeah, compatible.
I noted that.
Very fascinating word to me. And I can definitely see where he'll be a bit of a chameleon, especially because he is an actor. I mean, if I find out someone's an actor, I want them out because I'm like, you're going to be able to lie to me really well. You're going to be able to play a character. So I could see Colin being the chameleon here.
How would that work, though?
I feel like he's going to stick out and maybe targeted early. I do. I think I don't know. I whenever someone's too outspoken I just feel like, I'm a very outspoken person and I try and reel it in the beginning because I know my mouth can get me into trouble as well. Not that his mouth would get him into trouble, but I just feel like he's I don't know. I don't know. I think he may come on too strong.
Interesting. He does have a very loud outfit in this video, so that could.
And that's, I was going to make a comment about that. Like, I don't know how you guys are, but I kind of think about what I'm going to wear when I play at LRG, and I try to wear something that like helps me blend in.
Interesting.
I feel like
I want a statement piece.
Yeah, no, I feel like his outfit just pops, and so it makes him constantly visual. So, like, if you guys think about it, when we're in the strategy portion of the game, and you're watching people talk, because he's so bright, you can see where he's at constantly. I'm crazy when it plays the game. So maybe outfit choices. He didn't think about that.
I think as someone who's a little more shy, especially at the beginning, I want to have like a hat with a tomato on it. So people are like, oh, I like your hat. And then I have something to talk about. So that's like my strategy, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Do we think Colin's going to be a hero or he's going to be a villain?
He is very hard for me to read, and maybe it's the actor. I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards hero only because he's a rookie
Yeah.
And I feel like when I played my first game, it was really hard for me to like be deceptive. So
Oh, so true. Because like in my first game, like you learn so much with each game you play.
yeah.
And my very first game, I just like kind of stayed back. I was afraid to say anything. I was afraid to like make a move against anyone because I didn't want anybody to hate me. And like you didn't know. And then you realize how cutthroat it is. And it's like, oh, I can't wait for my next game.
Yeah.
Do things. So rookies, I think, may just be heroes just because they don't know.
I put villain. I had actor underlined.
I can see
and
it.
I don't know. I saw somebody last year that was an actor who completely created a personality when they played the game. And so now, like Trinica, when I hear actor, I'm like red flag, red flag, red flag. Like how much is of what they're doing real and how much of it is the character they created for this game?
Yes,
So
I'm very curious. What are you labeling?
Oh,
him
I was
as?
going to say villain. Absolutely.
I'm really curious if he is going to tell people that he's an actor because I would not. I would absolutely be like, I'm a kindergarten teacher or something.
Yeah, but if he's a rookie and he says he's not a Survivor fan, he might not know enough to lie.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Real quick shout out to Daniel Bogg, DB. He hosts the Survivor Angelica recaps. All right. Another rookie. We have David. What are you guys' thoughts on David?
He's just a baby.
I know, he's so young.
At 18, I think that he comes across very sweet and he has a good strategy in mind. Like I like that he's thinking not just in terms of like strategically who's going to complement him and an ally, but he's also thinking about the physicality of like, I'm a smaller person. I want someone who's big. And I think that I could see him using his age and his stature to his benefit, trying to come across as naive, unassuming. And then at the beginning he said like, oh, this is unserious. So I think he's going to be, tricky for sure. Not because they're the same age, but Sandra, he reminded me of Charlie from Reelfoot. Like I could see him.
No, he did. And I thought of Charlie actually, because when he said he was 18 and, Charlie got to the end and David mentions finding a meat shield, which is funny because being an older woman, because it kind of the same thing, younger and, being the youngest and being the oldest, like you tend to have those targets on your back because it's like, oh, the old person's got to go because they're not going to be as good in the challenges, and the young person's got to go because, they're too young and they don't, whatever. But I feel like finding a meat shield, which is kind of like, I find like not necessarily a man, it could be a woman or, but a strong player, just a strong mental player, physical player, all around player. And that's who I usually gravitate to right at the beginning, because as an older player and a younger player, you just kind of have to do that. And even I feel like Charlie may have done that. I don't know, because I didn't, I wasn't on the Queen Tribe, but maybe with Tony, I know he was close with Tony, and it's like, it does it. And if he can do that, I think he could get through. Yeah.
I would want him out.
To me, I wrote down fish out of water. Because I feel like David has the right idea. Like he wants to come play, he wants to come have fun, he has a strategy. But you have players like Amy and Barton and Ben and Sierra and like other experienced LRG players that are going to come into this game. And like, I don't know if they're going to take him. I don't know if they're going to take him under their wing, or they're just going to be like, that's an easy boot. So I have hope for David. I don't know. I don't know if this game is going to be too much for him, or he's just going to fully embrace it and be like, it's not serious. Let's just have fun with it and be completely erratic.
Yeah, it's really one or the other. Like he makes it really far or he flames out fast. But I think he came across very intelligent, somebody who is self-aware and thinks a lot about things. So I think if he comes across that way and is the young, like sweet kid, then I would see him as a danger, because I feel like, well, no one's going to want to vote this guy out. Let's get him out early. But there is a world where, an Amy or somebody is like, you know what? I'm going to take you under my wing. You're probably going to be loyal. We'll see.
Right.
So hero or villain?
I say hero.
Hero.
I said villain. I think anyone who calls the game unserious is going to come in and not be afraid to treat people like chess pieces, which is fun.
I don't know. He just comes across so sweet. I just can't see him as
That's how they get you, Sandra.
I'm so
Unless
nice.
he's like one of those undercover, low key like villains where like in front of everybody he's nice and sweet, but in the back he's like just doing crazy stuff. That would be fun to watch. I love a little chaos. All right, Emily. She's also another LRG rookie. And Emily said, I think Emily's the one that said that she wanted to come out here and lie because there's no consequences, right?
Does she want to be sneaky without people knowing?
Yes, that's what it was. So what are you guys' thoughts on Emily?
I
Super
think she's
likable.
yeah, very likable.
Yeah, super likable. I have. She likes chaos, she said. And she's a strong physical player, likes to start drama. I think she's going to make it for a very interesting player and an interesting game. I think she's going to be fun to watch.
Yes. I'm very curious if she's going to be able to hide her like chaos intentions because she does look very sweet, but she seems like she wants to cause chaos so much that I hope that it doesn't kind of overtake her game and she gets caught too quickly. Because I think she could make it far otherwise.
Yeah, I think she'll definitely make it. I think she'll make it to merge at least. And if people start seeing her chaotic play or see her as a threat, but I think she's going to go far.
One of the things I'm excited about is I want to see how she's going to play when she's back into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And is she going to really like try to amp it up and like cause chaos and just, I don't know, just throw shit at the wall and see what happens. But I'm excited for Emily. I think she's a villain, hands down.
I think so
she's
too.
fully going to embrace it.
Yeah.
You know what the flip side could be though is I feel like coming into my first game, I also thought like, oh, I'm gonna go and be chaotic and lie all the time. And like sometimes when you get there, you're like, oh, it's harder than I thought. So even with her saying that, you know, I'm curious if she's gonna follow through when she's actually playing the game. That'll be interesting to see.
I will agree. Like the first game, it is hard to lie to people's faces.
Yeah.
So I think she may come in with that mentality too of like, oh, I can do it, and then get in front of somebody and be like, oh shit, like it's really, really hard to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. First games are definitely hard to maneuver. So you just don't, you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know what to expect.
So right now, DB's asking in the chat, out of Colin, David, and Emily, the three rookies that we have talked about, who do we think of those three are going to go the furthest?
Emily.
Wait, and who's the other two? I gotta look at
Colin,
the
actor.
Oh, definitely Emily.
Yeah.
I would say Emily as well.
Yeah.
She's just coming in so confident in her video.
Yeah. So I'm just going to let you have this one, Trinica.
Let me have this. This is my sweet angel baby boy, Ethan. I have no Ethan bias whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, Ethan is a good player. He's in sales. He knows how to carry on a conversation. He's going to be more social. He's going to have people who are intrigued by his accent, which
it's very easy. That Australian accent. Yeah.
I also think that could make him a target. Like anything, it's like you said, Santi, wanting to blend in, anything that makes you stick out could end up helping you or hurting you. I also think that Ethan's issue is that you look at him and you see challenge threat. He's just like this tall guy. He looks like he like does sports. So I think
and he is good at challenges, as we saw.
As we saw in Real Foot, he won a couple of individual immunity challenges. So, I think he's going to try the same thing he did in Real Foot, which is finding people who are maybe a little more strategically savvy to ally with, but then he's also going to try and keep his avenues open to work with like the boys club and the other meat shields and see if he can protect himself that way. So I think he's going to try and play the middle road. And I think he'll be able to do it pretty successfully. I don't think he's going to have an issue getting through to merge, honestly.
No, I don't either. He's so likable. Like everyone loved Ethan at Real Foot. I just remember playing with him, and he's just such a nice guy. And yeah, I don't think he's going to have a problem getting through to merge. And the only problem is once you hit merge, and then those physical threats tend to you get bigger targets on your back. But if you align with the right people, and I think he's going to go far.
I think so. And the thing I want to see from him is him to play a little less loyal this time around. Speaking as his ride or die, like I would love to see him turn on his ride or die and like think about his own game a little bit more, be a little bit more selfish in playing, because I think that would be fun for him. And I think that could be helpful if he's seen as a little bit more flexible.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Ethan. I would fall under the woo of his accent very easily, and he would. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't talk to him. He is like my ideal meat shield, just to keep right in front of me. I think he. I didn't play with him, but I think he's extremely loyal, just based off of his video, and like he's like probably a good ally for me to have. So I have hopes for Ethan. I just hope that like he goes far. He has a really good stat for his 2 games, so
I hope he beats his real foot placement.
So I think we're all in agreement on Ethan hero.
Yes, I think he wants to be a villain. He really.
I know,
but he's just like he can't lie. He's not a good liar.
Yeah,
so,
no, he's too good of a person to be a villain.
Yeah, hero.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to our next person, J-Mac. J-Mac played Surviving Moments in Season 4. They got 7th place, and then they played Bloomington and All-Stars and won. That's a force right there, honestly. Like, how do you beat that? Even with everybody else's stats.
J-Mac is like similar to what you were saying, again, very intentional decisions about like how they want to present themselves physically and consider like what they look like, how they come across coming into a game, covering up the tattoos, wearing muted colors like that. I love that. That's fascinating. They're clearly self-reflective, adaptable. Honestly, J-Mac is kind of my winner pick.
Really? I think she's going to I'm sorry,
I believe they.
Okay. I think they're going to come across very strong and intimidating, which may work again. I'm not really sure. I think they're going to come across just really strong, and I don't know. I think she might go far, but she's definitely not my winner pick, because I
look at that smile though. Like I was interested in them saying that they felt like, they've been told that they're intimidating, because I don't think I would gravitate towards them, probably for a lot of reasons, but like I wouldn't be intimidated. But
see, I like someone more upfront though. Like I know you said you like the fact that they covered up their tattoos. Okay. I'm more of a be real player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but would you notice? Like, would you know that they covered up their tattoos in a like intentional manner to change their perspective?
I think their intention is to come in like probably the first 5 minutes, sleeves covered up, have everybody assess them, and then as the day progresses, the shirt comes off, the tattoo come out. Like it's a new layer of who this person is. J-Mac is another one of those players for me, like Kira, where I could just see the confidence in them from watching them on screen, and I would immediately align with J-Mac. There was just no way. Like, I'm like, you're solid. Let's go. Like,
but I think that's what I think may work against them is the overconfidence, because so much confidence can also be intimidating to a player. So I think they'll go far, but I think that they may go into merge with the big target.
Yeah, the key is going to be how well, like they have the first step done. They know how they come across. They know what their pitfalls are. The key is going to be if they can actually change that perception.
For sure.
All right.
She's rated.
Wait, did we say hero?
Very high
hero. Yeah, they're high on my list too. I put hero. I don't know. J-Mac could stab me in the back, and I'd be like, "That was very heroic of them to do."
Thank you, J-Mac. Step on me. I'm gonna say villain.
Yeah, I'm gonna say villain.
All right. So moving on, I'll let you take this one, Sandra, because you had thoughts.
Oh gosh, I have so many thoughts on Jabba. Love him. I played Angelica with him. The note I wanted to say, and Jabba, this is going straight to you. I have to laugh which I was telling both of them before this broadcast, is how you said you hate when people make it to the end and they use loyalty as in their speech because he voted for me. And he voted for me to win, and my speech was all about loyalty. So I appreciate you, Jabbar, for making the exception in my season. But no, I get it. It's he's just so much fun. He's a fun guy. He's funny. He's going to have people laughing. You know, he was the only person from his original tribe to make it through all the way to Final Five on the season I played with him. So he's very likable, and I think he's going to go far.
I sold my soul to Jabbar as soon as he said that he's selling his services to the highest bidder. Jabbar is going to be a fun one. I hope that they make it far. I do think like they're either going to run the entire game or they're going to be clocked immediately. Because they just seem like someone who can't like minimize their personality. Like they're just going to come and be this like huge presence.
Yes, that is so true, for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Jabbar. I haven't played any in-person games with him, but we played a couple online games together, and his personality is just so funny, and we get along so well. Like my note, Trinica, was about selling my services to the highest bidder because I'm like, girl, I got you. I get that. I've done it. I also like how Jabbar talked about building logical cases for other players. And I've done that. I've done the similar thing. Like, let me build a logical case for the world that you're playing in as to why my move would make sense to you. And so the fact that Jabbar did that, love it. I don't know, Sandra, when he said he hates loyalty, I kind of got it because in these games, we can play loyalty. Absolutely. But there always comes a point in the game where loyalty is tested, where it's me or you. And I think kind of that's where Jabbar is at with that comment, because like he's very quick to, I'm always going to pick me. I still think he's loyal. I don't know. I love Jabbar.
Loyalty's always got me far, but it's like, you know,
it's hard. It becomes
I'll tell people right to their face, like, you know, I'm not, you're going because this is my loyalty. Like I am not, but that's just how I play the game.
No, I agree. It's just sometimes it's so hard when like, let's say the three of us are together, right? And it's final 3 and we find out it's final 2. I have to vote one of you guys out. Well, I've been loyal to both of you the entire time. Now, how do I measure my loyalty? Like, so I think Jabbar is in the sense of like, probably already thinking if that does happen, I'm going to take this person because of X, Y, Z, loyalty wise. So yeah, Jabbar's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yes. Yep.
Hero
and
or villain?
We don't even have to ask that, honestly. Villain,
hands down.
He idled out my buddy Pat Johnson. He's always going to be a villain to me.
Which, by the way, if you're not watching American Idol, Pat Johnson is currently on the season of American Idol.
Tomorrow night.
And let's all hear everyone sing now, or
no.
You don't want to.
We don't want to get the show canceled. Yeah, it'll get canceled.
True.
All right. So moving on to Jordan. I didn't get any stats on Jordan. So I don't know how to base my assessment on Jordan, other than I wrote down he's going to be out of his element based off of his cast, his video.
Interesting. I think having a question mark for Jordan sums up my entire thought about Jordan, which is that like what he said something, I think it was him. He said something about like reflecting what other people are giving to him. So I wrote down mirror for him. I think he's somebody who's going to just like be very observant, see what people are giving him, see what they want and expect from him, and be able to reflect that back. So I think he's going to be very devious. I think he's going to be a little under the radar.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a good social player. I think people are going to love him. All right, survival challenge. I'm like, I know I've seen him somewhere. I just remember him being funny and someone who I would love to just like hang out on a Friday night with, I'd love to be around people that are going to make me laugh. And he comes across as someone that would make me laugh and I would love to have conversations with. So I think his social game, and he probably is very strategic too. I don't really remember everything, but I like Jordan, definitely.
He looks strategic for sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch him too. I don't know. I think I see pre-jury boot somewhere in there for him.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I just can't see him getting to the jury, but we'll see. What are we thinking? Hero, villain?
Villain.
Yeah, I think he could be devious for sure.
Yeah, I don't think like a behind the scenes villain. He's not going to be a Jabbar where I think people.
Yeah.
He'll be the one maybe telling Jabbar like, "Hey, girl, do this."
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So next we have Josh. He's another LRG rookie. He mentions this in his casting video that he is a COVID fan and that he lived in a tent for a year.
Yes.
I just gotta say that beard on this man is so fine, and it would be very hard for me to not want to vote him out because of that.
Well,
He's distracting to me, and I'm like. So, what are your thoughts on Josh? Also, he has the same name as my husband, so
That's true. You're biased.
I'm totally biased.
I loved Josh. He rates high on my list. I think he comes across. I think everyone's sweet though. I don't know, but he just comes across as super sweet to me. I think living in a tent for a year, so the elements aren't going to be very difficult for him. He's probably going to be very helpful, and he just seems like people are going to genuinely like him as a person. He just comes across as a very sweet person.
Sweet is the first thing that I wrote down for him too.
Yeah.
He seems like he's going to be very into the challenge and living outdoor aspects, but I could see him being a little swept away by the social and strategic aspects. Mostly because he just seems so soft-spoken in his video. Yeah. But I do think that could be a bit of a superpower if he's able to ally with someone who's a little bit louder, who he can hide behind. But I think like he's going to be a loyal player if he can find the right person to ally with. He can go far.
Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah, I definitely think he is going to go far in the game. I don't know. I think he may get almost annoyed with the different personalities. And he might get caught up in that and make that vocal, and which will then work against him. I think if you can keep that internalized and not like just let people do their craziness that we do out there, I think he'll get very far.
Yeah.
But I don't see him as somebody that's going to be scheming and strategizing and all that stuff. I think he's one of those players I see of like, tell me where the vote's at, and then leave me alone for the next 15 minutes, and that's where I'm going to vote.
Yes.
Yeah. Definite hero vibe for sure.
Hero. I got hero for him as well. And we love COVID fans. All right. So next we have Kayla, another LRG rookie. She is not a Survivor fan. So what are you guys' thoughts on Kayla?
I wrote down two things. Challenge threat. It seems like she's very confident about the challenges and her ability to do well. I think she said she was a dancer. The other thing I wrote was straight shooter, and it's going to get her in trouble. I think that, she seems self-aware about it, but she seems like someone who's not going to be able to stop herself from speaking her opinion, even though she knows that it could get her in trouble.
Yeah, and that can get you in trouble pretty early if you start speaking your mind. But on the other side of it, she also comes across as very I know she said she speaks her mind, but she's also seems very soft-spoken.
True.
So if she can kind of reel in that her soft-spoken and just kind of sit back for a while and bite your tongue a little bit, I think she could fly under the radar at first.
This is going to shock you guys, but Kayla is my winner pick.
Really?
I'll take it. I'll take it, honestly. Yeah. If she can make it past the stages,
Yeah.
I feel like the other players are going to underestimate her gameplay. I think she's going to learn very quickly. Like, I probably shouldn't say half of what I'm about to say and kind of keep it in. I think even though she's not a Survivor fan, I don't know. I feel like she's going to grab the game really quickly and understand how to move forward before some of the other players do. And I think when they look around towards Merge at Kayla, they're going to be like, how did she get here? And it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah.
And then she's
I
going to
have
win all
been-
the communities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's my winner pick. I have high hopes for Kayla, and I wrote down hero for her, like hands down. There's no question that she's a villain.
I'm writing down villain for her.
Oh,
I think she's going to be too honest. I think she's going to be seen as a villain because of her mouth.
I'm going to say hero only because it's her first game. And I think we mentioned before, like sometimes people are just afraid to make those big moves in their first game.
Yeah. I think you like to see the good in people, Sandra. I like to see the villain in everyone.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good villain.
villains have more fun.
Yes, they make for a fun game. I mean, you have to admit that.
Yeah. All right. So we have our last LRG rookie, Liz. What do you guys' thoughts about Liz?
I know I said already that someone else was my winner pick. I forgot about Liz. Liz is my winner pick. What an icon. Liz
I
is
love
so
her.
confident, love a strong woman. She says something like playing to heartstrings and stabbing them in the back, challenge threat. She's a nurse. She knows how to talk to people. I love a confident newbie. Big fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. And I love nurses. I have 3 nurses in my family. Like they're the best. It takes really a special person to be a nurse. And yeah, I think she's going to come out strong. Sounds like she knows the game and she's not going to be afraid to make some big moves. Yeah, I think she's going to do really well.
Yeah, I wrote down, like, if I think of anybody in the cast of who's going to be in the driver's seat of this game, I think it's going to be Liz.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about her, but she has definitely got the game and she understands it. I think she's going to go very, very far, but it's minimizing that threat level. I feel like her threat level is going to be very high, very early, and she's going to have to work to minimize it, especially when they get to merge and there's all these different factors involved. But I have high hopes for Liz. I think she's going to be great.
Yes.
And villain for me.
Villain, for
Villain.
sure.
She seems, even though she's a rookie, she seems like somebody who's going to come in and will be able to do the lying. And for some reason, I don't think it's going to be an issue for her. So,
All right. Next we have Lydia, who was in the chat earlier. So shout out Lydia. She played Real Fit season 9. She played Survive season 1. She got 6. She won Golden Gate, so we have another winner. And then she played the Real Fit returning season, but I don't know what her placement is. So it was in her notes. She said forgetting that season, so I just put question mark on her placement. What are you guys' thoughts on Lydia?
I think Lydia is going to do really well. Lydia is so sweet. She seems like someone people will want to talk to. I think, like, if I were on a tribe with her, I would want to ally with her because I think if she is a bit quieter, I would feel more comfortable with someone like her versus like someone like Liz or someone who might be a little bit more outspoken. So I could see her being at the center of like a very strong core.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, because she does seem very likable and sweet and a great social player, I think. And Golden Gates, I feel like, is a good example of that. I think people are drawn to her for sure. And yeah, I think she definitely will go far.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lydia is going to be a force within the game. And I think people are also going to be very, very drawn to her. It was interesting that she said she's a smaller girl, and I don't mean this offensively at all, but like when I see her on screen, I don't see a small girl. I see a big presence of like, she just is a force.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she said that, I was like, I don't see small. Like I don't know. She's just a force.
I was thinking that too, because I mean, I'm pretty sure she was sitting down for most of her video. So like maybe she is on the shorter side, but the way that she presents herself is, it is
confident.
Very confident.
Yeah.
Our thoughts, hero, villain.
Lydia's going to get my second anti-hero. I don't have any evidence to back it up. I think it's just this picture. It's giving like sweet, but then a little bit spicy.
I actually have anti-hero too, because I have hero on one side of Lydia's notes and villain on the other side of Lydia's notes.
I'm going to say hero.
Yeah. I think Lydia is going to be whatever the game needs her to be. If the game needs her to be a hero, she's going to be a hero. If the game needs her to be a villain, she's going to be a villain.
Very much that.
All right, next up we have Peter. He's played Survivor UK plus 2 other LRGs. He's never made merge. Peter talks about in his video how he got first boot in his last LRG and how that's fresh in his mind. So what are you guys' thoughts on Peter? He's also an international player.
Yes, and I hear a British accent, and I think sneaky. I think sneaky. It's the colonizer history. I think he just gets like he has this precision about the way he speaks and the words he's using. Like it feels like he's thinking about everything he says before he says it. So I just think that he's like going to be very smart, but people are going to notice that and want him out.
Yeah, I think he's going to come across really strong. And I think that I haven't seen any of the games he played before, but maybe that's what the issue was. But if he can reel that in a little bit and know that that was possibly his issue, and I'm not saying it is, but if that was the issue in the past, maybe reel in that strong personality that I feel like he has a really strong personality. So maybe if he can reel that in, but yeah.
I have a question for you guys because I thought about this with Peter. So you guys have both won a game. When you've entered your next game, you have this like certain pressure about it, right? Like I've already won. Now I'm going to be targeted. Do you think Peter feels a level of that as well because he got first boot in his last game and now he's coming to a new game and he's like, I definitely don't want to get first boot. Like, do you think that that's at the forefront of his mind and it's going to drastically affect his gameplay?
I would think so, because even as winning, like you go into your next game and you're afraid. You're like, oh my God, everybody's gonna know, because word gets out, even though you're not supposed to share the end result. But and you do get, as a winner, you get a target on your back pretty quickly. Oh, they won, whatever. But so yeah, it's definitely in the back of your mind as a winner. So I would think first boot, because even when you had never been first boot, when you go into a game, you don't want to be first boot. So that's still on your mind. So being first boot and going into a game, I would think it would be on his mind constantly. And maybe that'll help him to like reel it in a little bit.
I could see it psyching him out too much. I think my worry with him would be that he goes in and he tells people he was first boot in the last game and then creates this sort of like self-fulfilling prophecy. So hopefully he just keeps that to himself. Because if I have someone come in and they're like, oh man, please don't make me first boot, guys. I was first boot last time. I'd be like, well, we have the opportunity to do the funniest thing now. So
oh, see, now that would be so mean. Couldn't do it.
I would be like, he already knows what it feels like, so why are we going to hurt somebody else's feelings?
Villains.
Exactly.
I'm a villain head. I'm a villain heads down. Like, there's no heroic quality in me. All right. So, Peter, villain or hero?
Villain.
He does, yeah. I mean, he does come across as a villain for sure.
I say villain as well. He has mad genius vibes.
Yes. He needs to just come in with like a Cockney accent. Like he's got to just shift his accent just a little bit, and then I think he'll be fine.
He needs Colin's hat.
He needs Colin's hat.
Yeah. He needs Colin's hat, and I think that like he downplays immediately.
Yes.
All right. So I'll take this next one. This icon, Samantha, played Survivor Angelica. Unfortunately, she got 16th place. She played Survivor Sensation. She got 2nd place. She also played competitive events, fan versus fave versus first, and All Stars. I fucking love Samantha. Samantha tells it like it is. Samantha's an excellent game player. She's social. She's very good at competitions. Like, I can't say anything bad about Samantha. I'm going to be completely unbiased and say I absolutely adore Samantha. So what do you guys think?
I have a question. Did competitive events do more than one fan versus favorites versus first? Did I play?
Yeah. So they did one. I think they do one every year. Somebody in the chat can correct me on this. So I think you played the second one, Trinica. Sam played the first one.
I would have remembered her because what an icon, what a force, the Jersey accent. Like, she is going to dominate. I think the question is just whether the rest of her tribe is going to let her run things. And she's a bartender, right? So she, should be good at the social game. I think she's also someone who's going to have opinions and not be afraid to share them. And we'll see whether that gets her in trouble or not.
Yeah, that's what I think. I've watched her in many games, and I think that would be the only thing that would, kind of work against her is her outspoken personality. She's fun to watch, and she's great. Like you said, she's great at challenges. She knows the game. As long as, like I think Trinica said before, for somebody, like, depends on what kind of tribe they're on. Like, if who's on their tribe. Is it a bunch of the, quieter, soft-spoken people? Then she's going to stick out like a sore thumb, and that could get her into trouble. But if she's on a dominant tribe, like, yes, I think she'll go far.
I agree with that, because if Samantha was on my tribe with me and Tiana and Angelica, she definitely would not have gotten 16th place.
Yeah,
There's no way that would have happened.
for sure.
So hero, villain.
Oh, she's a villain for sure.
I'm gonna say hero, which is I think that she could. I have never seen any of her games, to be fair.
All right. Okay.
But I
that
can see
explains it.
my first impression though was like someone who's going to be loyal, like she's going to be honest about how she feels, and I think that because of the outspokenness and that honesty that I'm perceiving, I'm classifying her as a hero.
All right.
Santi's
So
like,
moving on.
I know, Santi. We didn't hear your assessment.
Oh no, I think she's a villain, hands down.
All
Like,
right,
this is why I said if she was in the tribe with me and Tiana and Angelica, like, it would have been game over.
Yeah, that would have been.
The three of us would have just been breaking shit left and right. Like, oh my gosh. All right. So this person is I feel like we're gonna talk about him for a while. So
speaking of villains,
last but not least, Tyler.
The Johnny Fairplay of the
Survivor BC 2 times. For those watching, if you didn't watch his video, he won Survivor BC, and the way that he won Survivor BC was by telling the jury that he was going to use the prize money to fund his son's birthday party. The son did not exist. There is no birthday party, and he ended up winning. And a lot of people now think of him as somebody who's not trustworthy because of his word. I think it is fucking hilarious, and here's why. Emily mentions it about doing stuff in this game without having consequences. And I'm a fan of, like, if you're going to put me in a Survivor environment or any game, let me see what I can break, because that's within the confines of the game. There are no rules in these LRGs that say you cannot lie about having fake family members or birthdays. And he took something from Survivor, which is what Johnny Fairplay did, and he put it on an LRG level. And I just think it's hilarious. And I'm sorry that people are like seeing him as a villain. He's a hero in my eyes.
of course,
he's definitely not a hero, but I think it's funny as hell. I mean, and it's a game. You're not playing for $1 million, and if you were,
the fact that it worked is hilarious.
Yeah.
Right.
I also like the way he phrased it in the video was like, yeah, so after I lied about having a son and wanting to fund his first birthday party, people seemed to think that I was untrustworthy. Like, yeah, of course they did. Yeah, big villain vibes for sure. Is he the one? I think it was in like one of the teaser videos. Somebody said that they've made people cry every season they played, and I don't remember if it was him, but I'm gonna assign that to him. Yeah, if I think he seems like someone who would make people cry. So yeah, and apparently
Chat, if you have that information.
Yeah, please let us know who the true villain is. And then I think he's also the person they said like debates. This was not maybe in his video, but was in one of the live reality game podcasts before the game started, that I think he was on a video debating with Jubilee. So if he knows how to debate and he's not afraid to lie, I think, he's going to be pretty dominating and polarizing.
Yeah.
And look at those eyes. Like, can you imagine just having a conversation with him and like just feeling him, like, don't lie to him at all. Like, he has these very, like, I don't know how to describe it, stern eyes. Is that the right word I'm using? I don't know. Like, it's just captivating. There we go. It's very captivating. And I don't know if I'd have a hard time lying to him.
I don't know if like looking at him, I feel like, I don't know if it's because I know he lied that now I look at him and I'm like, oh yeah, he's not he's so untrustworthy. But I
I
don't
wrote
know.
that down too.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Yep.
Sorry.
So he is the person who said that he has made people cry in every game he's played. I totally buy that. I agree, Sandra. If I look in his eyes, I'm seeing untrustworthy. And it might be the hindsight of having seen his video, but
Right.
he seems shifty.
I actually wrote that. Yes.
All right, so we're at the end of our assessment. I think I added this slide. Hopefully, here we go. So here are the tribe breakdowns, and I learned something in talking to Daniel yesterday.
Oh.
He said they accidentally put all the newbies on one tribe, and so on the Kipo tribe, we do have a bunch of newbies, and then on the Law Wiki tribe, we have some strong LRG vets. So these are the tribe breakdowns. So I wanted you guys to look at this and think about it before we actually started drafting.
I am obsessed with the Kipo tribe. I think that, okay, wait, who do we think? I just want to quickly say, who do we think is going to work together here? Because I could see Ethan working with Barton and maybe, I forget her name with the glasses and the bucket hat on the bottom there.
Kira?
Kayla.
Not
Kayla.
No.
Yes. And
Kayla.
then, yeah, and I could see Samantha and Liz working together with Secrets in His Hair guy. Ben, was that his name? With
Ben.
beads?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Ben
I
and,
see
and
that.
Samantha for sure. Yeah. And Liz. Yeah, that's a good.
That's going to be a
I
fun
don't know. I
tribe.
kind of see Ethan working with Ben as well, though.
You know, I wonder if Ethan would be threatened by Ben.
Hmm.
So that's my only question, but I did consider that too. Yeah. And then Lawiki. That's also Lydia and Amy. Do we see them working together? I could see that.
Absolutely. I thought Lydia, Amy, Jabbar.
Jabbar for sure, because I feel
Jabbar
like,
working with those two,
well,
maybe
'cause
more.
he knows Amy from Angelica, so
Okay.
That
Okay. Yeah,
could-
that makes
yeah.
sense.
God, that's good that you can remember everyone's name. I only remember the people.
I'm
I
pretty
need, like,
bad at
little
it.
name tags.
Well, I was just thinking the girl with the pigtails in the bottom. I forget her
We
name.
play
She was one-
games.
Emily. I think Emily.
Emily, yeah, I think that's right. One of my winner picks. I think that on that tribe, maybe she hides behind Jabbar, but otherwise, I think she could be an early boot.
I don't know. I see Emily, J-Mac, Amy, and Lydia at the bottom, and I'm like, strong ass women's alliance right
If
there.
they can all, that would be so chef's kiss if they all work together.
But early women's alliances never work.
Yeah.
And there's only 4. So
They just need to
Yeah.
scoop up Jabbar.
They're going to pull Jabbar.
Uh,
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
That would be iconic. I hope that happens.
Fingers crossed we'll
I'm
find out
afraid
tomorrow.
that Peter's going to be first boot on that tribe.
Peter, I think he could be actually. I really do. Like, he's either going to be Peter or Colin, right?
Which one's Colin?
The hat.
Calling
The
it hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or Tyler if he just comes across as like the most villainous of all villains, but
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready to draft?
I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to go in order alphabetically. So it would be Sandra, me, and then Trinica, and then we're going to start over. I think that should give us all 6, right?
That sounds right.
Okay. Sandra, you're first. Who would you like?
I am taking Ben because he was my initial winner.
Okay. Well, that made it easy because I'm taking Amy.
Ah,
I was going to take Amy first. So I'm like,
I thought you were taking Amy first.
I thought you were going to too.
I was
mentally
going to
preparing.
take Amy. And then I'm like,
You snooze, you lose.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Amy. Don't hate me.
I am going to take my.
Do I even?
Yeah, you
I
don't
was
have
like,
to.
do I even need to? I
I
yeah,
know.
let's just move it over.
Like, am I wait then?
All right, Sandra, pick who you want.
Gosh. Hold on. I gotta see. All right. Liz.
Oh,
Liz.
how dare
Liz.
you! I'm so upset.
Liz, where is Liz?
She's on the bottom. Yes.
Wait, didn't you say snake draft? Doesn't that mean that we start at me?
I know, but then it got complicated in my head, so I'm just doing 3, like in order.
Oh, I didn't know what
Wow.
snake draft meant. I've never.
I had to go.
Well, okay. Yeah, because you get last picks. That's right.
But that's that's fine if y'all wanna.
Go ahead if you want. If that's the
I
case,
got
if Trinica wants Liz, go ahead. I have others, so if we need to do it, that's fine.
If you're giving up Liz, I'll take Liz.
I'm not giving her
Okay.
up, but if that's what we were supposed to do, you know.
Okay, Sandra, who would you like? Would you like to stay with Liz? Or would you like
Well,
to
no,
give
I
it to
think
Trinica?
Trinica. Are we gonna do the snake thing?
Okay, hold on. We'll go back. Do.
Yeah, take me
Trinica
off. Let
gets Liz.
Trinica go next
This.
because that's what it was
Then
supposed to be.
then I go again because it's snake draft. I'm taking my girl Samantha,
Is it my turn?
and then
yet?
you get 2 now, Sandra.
Okay. I'm gonna take. Hold on. I am going to take Emily next to
Emily.
Ethan. Top. Yep.
There we go. And then who else?
Oh, so you don't go? Do you ever go first?
No, so it's snake. No, that's
Oh.
yeah. I constantly go into it. Yeah, so you get 2.
I don't know. Okay. And then I am going to take Kiara. I have high hopes for her. Next to Tomato Hat.
All right, so it's me. I am going to take.
I'm so afraid you're gonna take mine.
I'm taking Jabbar. Are you kidding me?
Okay, good. I did want Jabbar, but that's okay.
Oh, I forgot about Jabbar. I'm sorry. I didn't see Jabbar.
I
gonna
told
take-
Jabbar I was gonna fight for him, so thank you guys for not having me fight.
I'm gonna take
Ben?
Barton. Oh, it's me, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
Barton.
Okay, and who else?
Oh, I get to go again. Ooh, who do I have left who I wanted? You took Jabbar. Oh, J-Mac. I'm gonna take J-Mac.
Okay, and then I am gonna take Lydia,
Dang.
Sandra, who are
I'm going to take, I don't remember his name, the third one in, the one that slept in a tent.
Josh.
Gosh.
Yes.
Okay, and who else?
Oh, me again. And Jordan.
Jordan. Here we go. It's me again. I'm gonna take. Ooh. I'm taking Kayla.
Dang, I was gonna take her. Okay.
All right, your
Hmm.
final 2 picks, Corinne.
My final 2. My goodness. Okay. I am gonna go out on a limb and take David. Curious what David's gonna do. And then my second pick, I'm gonna go Colin.
So whoever I pick here, Sandra's stuck with. Sandra, do you want Peter or do you want Tyler?
Whichever. I don't think either one of them are going to win. So
You might get that first boot bad luck though if you go Peter.
whom? Yeah. Well, go ahead, Sam. You can. Which? Yeah.
I'm taking Tyler, my hero. All right, so there we have it, y'all.
I can't believe I don't have Amy. She's gonna hate me.
Amy, I told her to pick you and she said no.
No, that is
I'm just
so
kidding.
lies. He's a villain. Lies.
All right, you guys. Well, we are at the end of this cast assessment and draft. I want to thank you both for taking your time out of your Saturday to have fun with me for the last hour and a half. Before we head out, Sandra, is there anything you want to say to anybody? Where can they find you? What can they expect from you this summer? If you can talk about it.
Yeah, you just have to wait and see. Yeah, so I'm probably like, I don't know, this is probably gonna be my last year of games. So getting old, I don't want to break a hip, getting ready for the retirement home. So yeah, hopefully you guys will have to wait and see if I play any.
Awesome. Trinica, where can they find you or anything you got going on this summer?
I am taking a break from games after playing 7 this year. So you will not be seeing me live, but you can catch me on Taylor Luke's Dilemma when episodes come out in the fall? ?
Boop. Dilemma 2, Corruption. I filmed that, and y'all, that is an LRG that you're going to have to watch because the shit that happened over that 2 days is crazy. So for the viewers out there, I want to thank you guys again for watching. If you loved watching me talk about this, please head over to MidwestCharityTrials.org and donate. I am playing a Survivor LRG this summer, and I'm raising funds for Central Texas Little Dog Rescue. 2 of my dogs are adopted from this rescue, so it's close to my heart. And I really want to get an advantage. If you guys know me, I love advantages. Also, if you enjoyed watching this, like and subscribe Live Reality Games on YouTube and Facebook, and then head over to YouTube and subscribe to Survivor Pennsylvania. The first episode airs tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Please check it out on YouTube. And if you're watching this and you're like, what the hell are LRGs? Follow LRG_casting at Instagram and find out about all the games. There's a new game happening every freaking weekend, every day. Traders, Big Brother, The Challenge, Survivor in somebody's house. Like, it's all over the place, guys. I love LRGs and I love chatting with you guys. So bye.
Bye, everyone.
And we're done.